Now then, welcome to the channel, Lake District and the Eastern Fells. We parked just back up there at High Row. We're going to walk down in the direction of Dowthwaitehead and we're going to do 4 Wainwrights, and it's either 1 or 2 Birketts. I can't remember if the second one we come to is a Birkett or not. I'll let you know when we get up there. So we're heading down here towards Dowthwaitehead, up onto Birkett Fell, Hart side, green side, and it's green side that I'm not sure if it's a Birkett or not. And then over to the Dodds and down by Groove Gill and back along the old coach road. So let's have a quick look at the route. So we're just heading down towards Crookworth Cottage, and that's where we're going. Before we set off, and just now, I checked the forecast for Great Dodd, and it was wall-to-wall blue skies all day. Look at that. Don't we just love forecasts, eh? Well, hopefully it'll clear as the morning goes on. So then we go towards Crookworth Cottage and ere a beck and pick up a footpath, I think by the beck, to Dowthwaitehead. Well, it's quite pleasant ambling along this footpath through the fields. There's not a breath of wind down here, which doesn't help for the clag situation. There is some brightness coming in from behind us there from the east, which is where the weather's coming from. So it might clear as the day goes on. We're in no rush, so we can amble along, see if it does clear later. It's a bit squelchy in places, is this path as well. There was signs of recent bovine activity in one of the fields we've just come through there, but there's some belted galloways up on the hillside there, so they must have been moved, which was fortunate. Right, so we'll continue along to Dowthwaitehead. So after many gates, we've arrived at Dowthwaitehead, and we follow this footpath that's signposts to Watermillock. And from what I've read, I think the path kind of peters out a bit as we start to head on up Birkett and maybe it gets a bit damp. We have had a bit of an unusual dry spell recently though, so we might be okay. Right, on we go. So we're over Airebeck and onto the open fell now, so we've started the climb onto Birkett Fell, and we might be lucky with this weather. I don't know if you can make out on here, but right over my head there, Great Mell Fell has got a bit of sunshine on it. I mean, it is only wispy stuff. There are vague patches of blue all around, so hopefully it'll clear as the day goes on. Right, so up we go up Birkett Fell. Well, they like the gates around here, don't they? I don't know if this cloud's going to clear or not. Great Mell Fell, the sun that was on it has disappeared. Well, there's no new hills for us today. We've both done all these before, but it's new routes. I've never been up this way. I think when I did Birkett Fell and Hart side, I came from Dockeray, I think it was, and then down round Glencoyne Head. So this is a new route, and it's a new route down for us. I've never been down by Groove Gill. I've seen the supposed bridleway. We've passed the bottom of it on Old Coach Road. It doesn't look to be much of a path coming down there. Anyway, we'll see what it's like. Right, so continue upwards. Well, the path has got a bit squelchy in places, but there's no vagueness to it. It's easy to follow, and it actually goes off over there, but we've branched off by this gill, but we've only got to go over there to come back up here. So we're going to follow this gill. It's pathless. There's no point in going all the way over there to come back up here. And then we meet I think it's a wall, and then we follow that up to the top of Birkett Fell. And it's not named after Bill Birkett, whose hills I'm slowly working my way through. It's named after, I think it's Lord Birkett of Ulverston, I think, if I remember rightly. There's a plaque on it on on the cairn, so we'll have a look. And it looks like we're getting into the clag up here as well, which I wasn't expecting at all. I was expecting wall-to-wall blue skies. Oh dear. Right, up we go. Well, it has just cleared a bit. You won't be able to make it out on here, I don't think, but you can actually see down there to Ullswater. I don't think you can see it from my big head. Is it that way? I just over my rucksack, I think now. So we might be lucky. Oh, right, up we go. So that's Birkett Fell done, and I thought the plaque on it actually said it was named after, but it doesn't. I must have googled that. I think it's Lord or Earl Birkett of Ulverston, I think. And it's a shame about these views. I mean, with the forecast that we had, I was really looking forward to this. Right, so we're going to see if we can find somewhere out of this wind, which has picked up a bit up here now, and have coffee and a chew, and then over to our first Wainwright, which is Hart side. So that's Hart side done, our first Wainwright of the day. We've not stopped for a coffee. There's nowhere to get out of this wind, and that's Wainwright number 170, second time round for me. And once we've been over the Dodds on this walk, I'll only have St Sunday Crag left to have completed the Eastern Fells second time round. I'm really disappointed in these views given what the forecast said. Right, we might actually just drop down here and have coffee and a chew and put my coat back on. Right, we'll see you in a bit. So here we are, admiring the extensive views on the top of Greenside, which is marked on the OS map as White Stones, and I'm pretty sure it is a Birkett. It's 795 metres, so I'm sure it's a Birkett. If it's not, I'll put it on screen that it's not, but I think it is. Right, so from here it's over to the Dodds. So we've got Stybarrow Dodd first, Watson's Dodd and Great Dodd, and then it's downhill from there. I don't know if we'll get any views at all if we drop down out of the cloud. I don't think we'll have any from the tops. It's not looking like it's showing any signs of clearing at all. Right, over to Stybarrow Dodd. So while we can't see out, might as well tell you about a couple of things that I'm going to do in 2025 if you want to hear about the new year. I put a poll on in the community tab asking if people would like to see the return of the Where's Charlie competition, and there weren't many people answered the poll, but the majority that did said they wanted to. If you've not had a vote, have a look in community tab. Do you want to see Where's Charlie coming? Anyway, I'm going to do it. Won't be till New Year. So what I do is I always take a photograph of Charlie at the top of every hill that we get to, and then 4 of these I'll put as a post in the community tab for you to identify the hill that he's at. And then also, as like a tiebreaker, the total amount of height he walked on the 4 hills, on the walks including the 4 hills. Now I always put a snippet of us approaching every hill summit that we get to. So if you watch the videos, you should be able to identify which hill he's on. And then at the end, I always put the total height that we've walked. So if you know the hill and which walk it's from, then total up the heights that we've climbed on the 4 walks, and then put your answers as a comment below the post. Now I did say originally that I might have a Go Outdoors voucher for winner, but I'm thinking about it, that would kind of limit it a bit, wouldn't it? Wouldn't be able to have any international entries, so I might do it as an Amazon. It'll only be a tenner, or the foreign currency equivalent, but you can get e-vouchers. I'll be able to send the code for the e-voucher via YouTube to the winner. So then another thing, I've already got it booked for the first weekend in January. I've devised a little 4-day route with 3 overnight stops in Portinscale, Seatoller and Grasmere. Now then, I want to know, I'll put this as a question in the community tab as well. Would you rather see that as one whole video or split into 2, containing 2 days each? So I'll put that as a question in community tab as well. Oh, right, nearly at the top of Stybarrow Dodd. So we're dropping down now off Stybarrow Dodd. Oh, it's absolute nightmare up here now. Blowing a blooming hoolie. Now, I've got an issue with this. The weather forecast was wall-to-wall blue skies and winds of 15 to 20 miles an hour. Now when you come into Lake District, you rely on the forecast, especially if you're going into a tricky area. As I say, the forecast was wall-to-wall blue skies, winds of 15 to 20 miles an hour. It's completely clagged in. It's blowing an absolute hoolie. Now that is potentially putting people's lives at risk. That is absolutely ridiculous. It's doing my head in. Right, so we're dropping down here now, and then up to Watson's Dodd. So here we are on Watson's Dodd. Oh, this wind is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know where they've got 15 to 20 miles an hour from, but the cloud does seem to be blowing through occasionally. We keep getting brief glimpses. We're not hanging around here. Over to Great Dodd, see if we can find somewhere for lunch. I can't remember if there's a shelter on Great Dodd or not. This wind's a nightmare. Right, off we go. So we're in the shelter on Great Dodd. We're going to have our lunch here. This wind is an absolute nightmare. It's making it hard work coming up there. I were flagging a bit coming up there. Right, so lunchtime, and then it's all downhill from here. But it's going to be straight into jaws of the gale all the way back to the car, I think. Right, going to have my lunch, and then we'll get off. So we've dropped down out of the clag there on Great Dodd. I don't think they're going to clear all day. And we've got this little outcrop called Ramderside. And last time we were here, we'd come up from where we parked, so we'd come up over a couple of Birketts down here. We went up Great Dodd and then over to, you just make out Carfow Pike over there. And then we didn't go right to the top of Cloughhead. There's a sheepfold at the side of it called Jim's Fold. We camped there. And then next morning we went up over Cloughhead, down the north face of Cloughhead. There's another Birkett below that, which I can't remember the name of. Threlkeld Knots, I think it's Threlkeld Knots. Then from there we dropped down onto Old Coach Road, and that was a slog all the way back from there, all the way back to where we parked on the Old Coach Road, and it were raining as well. Oh no, it's good to be out of that clag. We've actually got some views now. So there's Cloughhead over there. In the clouds over there is Blencathra and Skidder. Hang on, I'll put you on other camera. So there you can just make out Carfow Pike, and then Cloughhead, and then in the clouds over there is Blencathra, and right in the far distance in the clouds, that's the North Pennines. You can't see it. Little Melfell, Great Melfell, and then I think Gowbarrow, and then where we've been, right round that ridge into the clag, back down there. Right, so we're on our way down now. Well, it's got a bit squelchy. There's this bridle way coming down here now, and irritatingly, all the hills we've been up right around there, they're all clear now. Typical, isn't it? And over my shoulder that way, Blencathra's starting to clear now as well. Should have had an extra couple of hours in bed. Oh well, never mind. We've got to take the rough with the smooth, and we've had loads of good view days this year, haven't we? It's still nice to look up to them anyway, isn't it? Yeah, brilliant. Right, we'll continue squelching our way down here. So that's us, back down on the old coach road. Car's just round the corner up here. That's that bridleway coming down there, it turned out better than I expected. It dried out down towards bottom, and it was a decent path. So right, I'm going to sign off. Shame I couldn't bring you any views. It looks like it's a glorious day up there now. Typical, eh? Yeah, forecast all wrong. But no, it's been all right. I can recommend the walk as a route. It's a great route, and you do get good views from up on Dodds as well. Just not today. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do the usual: liking, subscribing, ringing the notification bell, commenting, sharing, all that usual malarkey. And hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Tra!